Peace, y'all. It's your girl, Ryder Creator, coming back with another one. Today, I wanted to touch back on a story about a young man by the name of SinzaeReed who was unjustly murdered. And here is his story.
Joining us now is SinzaeReed's mother, Megan Reed, and community activist Dewan Sharp. Thank you both so much for your time and joining us tonight. Megan, just want to start off by saying our deepest condolences go out to you for the loss of your son, which I cannot imagine the pain that you continue to feel. It's been nearly 3 months since your son was killed. Just take us back to October 12th, if you will. What was your son doing that day? How did you learn about what happened?
That day he woke up. He told me that he wasn't feeling good. He went back in his room. I was cooking, so I went in the kitchen. I didn't even know he went outside that day. Like, less than 10 minutes later, the neighbors came banging on the door saying that Sinzae got shot. And they took Sinzae to the hospital. And they told me that he was shot in the chest, which I only thought at that time he was shot in the chest. They told me that they was trying to get his heart to restart for 20 minutes. And then they came back and got me, my mom, my two sisters. We went in there. As soon as we went in there, they called time of death. And that was at 6:26.
Dewan, Columbus police are investigating, but they say that they are still waiting for key ballistic evidence nearly 3 months later. Why do you think that it's taken this long?
I really don't know. Like, I know I received a paper from the coroner saying that it does take like 2 or more months. But as far as I know right now, that my son got shot 4 times that I know of. Once in the chest, once in his right hand. His right hand's with his right leg. And 2 times on the side. So even if Craig is trying to play self-defense, he shot my son in his right hand for sure. So that means my son had his hands up. So he should still be in jail to this day, but he's not. He's walking around a free man.
Dewan, question for you. There are some people on social media who are making a parallel between Sinzae's death and the death of Ahmaud Arbery. That's taking, in that scenario, it took months for arrest to be made. Do you think that that's a fair comparison?
I do believe it's a fair comparison, but we can't really do comparison right now. We're just focused on the law right now. Craig Butler, he was the one that was not allowed to have firearms. Craig Butler was the one that opened fire in the school zone that almost hit multiple people. Craig Butler was the one that fled the scene. Craig Butler was the one that had to get apprehended by SWAT. And then it changed off of his self-defense. When we have people in the community, from us just coming out here talking to people, we found witnesses that seen it, that said since they didn't have a gun, that Craig had the gun. And the police is investigating, but they're really investigating us, because after we had our rally, SWAT team hit their neighbor just looking for a gun that they did not find. There had never been a gun. And we don't understand why Sinzae is being tried, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was just 13, but a convicted criminal with a illegal firearm firing. When we do have new gun laws here in Ohio, we're supposed to have enhancers. Craig should have just seen 10 years alone just for having the gun.
And so just to confirm, no one has ever said that Sinzae had a gun, correct?
No one has said he had a gun. We got the original police report from which they released to the media when that happened. No gun. The city used Sinzae's name and likeness when they thought it was black-on-black crime, but when they found out it was Craig that killed him, it was been complete silence. We haven't heard from anyone, from any type of policy. I'm just a community activist. I came over here to make sure that she was okay from her losing her son.
Megan, Craig Butler, as we've just been discussing, is currently a free man. From your perspective as a mother, how difficult is it to know that the man who's accused of allegedly killing your son, that he's walking free, living still in the community?
I'm very frustrated, because I know if it was the other way around, if Craig was a black man and my child was white, that black man would be in jail and my son would have justice. Or if Sinzae would have killed Craig, my 13-year-old son would still be in jail. And the fact that he's just walking around living his life want to go see his 10 kids.
In the same neighborhood, right?
Yeah, he lived, yeah.
Right. We can look out the window and see their home.
Yeah.
If police and authorities in Columbus are watching our report tonight, Megan, what is your message to the police?
I need justice for my son. My son is no longer here. I'm going to continue to talk, and I will be his voice until he gets justice.
We have demands for that. Mm-hmm. First off, we would like the immediate arrest of Craig Butler. That's it, like for real. And number two is Gary Tyack in his office. We would like them replaced because they're not doing their job. The third is an apology from the city for us having to come out here and do this when it's their duty and their elected official capacity to do these things for us. And the final one is the DOJ to come into Columbus, Ohio to investigate the patterns of practice of the Columbus Police Department and our judiciary.
Well, what have police said to you? How are they defending that they have not arrested him at this point?
Silence.
Yeah. I haven't even talked to the detective on the case since October 23rd when he called and interrogated me, asking me why do I allow my child, Sinzae, to carry a gun. Like, first of all, why would I allow my 13-year-old son to carry a gun? Like, that doesn't make sense. And why are you interrogating me? My son is the victim. I don't know what happened that day. I wasn't over there.
Megan, we did not have the opportunity to ever meet your son. Talk to us about what Sinzae was like, what made him smile, what he loved to do.
Sinzae just turned 13, 2 months before this happened. He was a normal boy. Like, he had friends, he went outside to play. He did a normal boy stuff. And for them to, like, try to make him out to seem like he's just some kind of gangbanger in a gang, stealing people's cars, doing all this other nonsense because he's black. That's what it comes out to, because he's black. It makes me mad, like, really mad. Because if my son was white, once again, I wouldn't be in this situation right now. Matter of fact, if my son was white, Craig probably would have never killed him.
Megan and Dewan, we thank you so much for your time. Once again, you have our deepest condolences, and we will continue following this case.
We appreciate everything that you're doing. And justice for Sinzae, justice for everybody out there.
Yeah.
The injustice of it all. Let's get into his story. The fatal shooting of a black teenager by a white man in Columbus, Ohio, who claimed self-defense, was officially ruled a homicide in an autopsy report. According to a police complaint in October, a witness to the shooting saw Craig Butler, 36, shoot and murder 13-year-old Sinzae Reed outside an apartment complex on October the 12th. The witness said Butler exited his truck, fired shots at Sinzae, and drove off, the complainant said. Butler was arrested days after the shooting and charged with murder, but the charges were dropped pending the completion of the investigation after prosecutors said Butler claimed self-defense in the shooting during his arraignment in October, according to a statement from the Columbus Police Department. The Franklin County autopsy report released Tuesday said the teen was shot twice, once in the hand and once in the chest, concluding the manner of death was a homicide. The county prosecutor's office told ABC News on Wednesday the matter is under internal review, and as such, no statement will be made at this time, which I think is flawed. Now, the problem is I have a problem with the discrepancies in the amount of wounds that was made to Sinzae Reed. The mom is saying 4 shots. They're saying 2 shots. Now, what's the truth? And the sister said 4 shots. The Columbus Police Department did not immediately respond to a request for comment Wednesday on the autopsy reports. I bet they didn't, because it seems shady to me. In Ohio, the self-defense law changed, and the legal part of that is the burden change. Shanna Lloyd, criminal attorney and managing partner of the Cochran firm, has said previously if a shooter said, I shot someone in self-defense, they had to prove it was self-defense. Now that law has changed, and it changes the burden and shifts it to the prosecution, which is really unjust. According to Lloyd, the self-defense rule is a byproduct of stand your ground laws and is controversial because it protects the shooter as opposed to the victim. Now, how shady can you get? It's so many things. They said this man was a convicted felon. They said he He should not have been able to own a gun. He was shooting in the school zone. It's so many things you could have picked him up for. And why is this man still not arrested? Y'all saying y'all pursuing it as a homicide, but I can't tell. And it's so sad that this is a 13-year-old boy who is being prevented from getting justice. Come on now, we got to keep on fighting. Please share this young man's story. It's such a shame. We got to fight for him. We got to fight for his family. We got to fight for justice. Still in 2023, as usual. Now, like I said before, Justice4SinzaeReed. Come on, y'all. We got to fight for him. Love y'all. Please like, subscribe, support the channel. Peace.